I really am passionate about mental wealth, which is a term that I use to call having both inner peace and prosperity. I think all of us are looking for the whole package for mind, body, fitness, and financial success. So, having inner peace and prosperity.
I love that. Now, you speaking about inner peace, you just flew in
Yes.
from Florida.
From Florida. It's much colder here. Oh my goodness.
And then you came straight to the radio station because I was like, please tell me about mental wealth, Joyce. We need to know about it. Do you remember the first time we were on the air together?
I do.
I made you stand in a hobby shop and talk about the benefits of having a hobby. Benefits of having a hobby. Right?
Yes, at Tom's Thumb. It was 2010 in Evanston, and I talked about how important leisure is. And I know you're so good with your crafts, and I believe in work-life balance. Absolutely.
Is that part of mental wealth?
Yes, absolutely. So I feel like after 20 years of practicing as a psychotherapist, I've really discovered the keys to having both inner peace and prosperity. Mm-hmm. So as a CEO, I built up Urban Balance, started it when I first met you. I think I had a couple therapists. Now there's over 100 therapists working from 10 locations in 3 states. And I successfully sold that last year. And as I was working on my business and myself, I started to realize that when clients work on their self-esteem, it affects their net worth. So self-worth and net worth are connected.
Directly related. So your mental health is related to money.
Yes, absolutely. So I believe we all set ceilings with our self-limiting beliefs. And so if we can expand our thinking, we can earn more money. When I first started my practice, I had coffee with my friend Steve, who was also starting his practice as a psychologist. And he said, Joyce, how much money do you want to make? And I said, it'd be great if I could make 60,000. And he said, 60? I want to make over 100. And I said, well, do you think that's possible? And he said, absolutely. And that year I made 60 and Steve made over 100.
Because you set your goal, your mindset was, I'm only going to make this much money.
So I was limiting myself. So
how did you change that? I mean, so many of us we're sitting and listening to the radio right now. We're driving in our car and we're like, but my boss is only going to give me a 1% raise. I'm not going to make over this much money. Like, how do we do that? What is that in our head that needs to click?
We need to embrace the abundance theory that there's everything available to us, and expand our vision and apply our creativity. In that example, you're only thinking about your current job. You're not thinking about your side business or the future business that you're going to start or all the other opportunities that you have to welcome abundance in your life. Maybe it's an Airbnb. And if you start thinking of yourself as a success, you will become a success. And so it's really about shifting your thinking. Cognitive behavioral therapy says that our thoughts precede our emotions and our behaviors. So we have to shift the way we think about ourselves, and we have to detach from fear and
so hard
expand our comfort zone.
That person in your brain that lives with you in there, like, you're not good enough. And you're like, but I'm going to get away from that. And then that person, that roommate you live with, comes back to tell you.
Yes, that's your inner critic. And that's a big part of therapy and mental wealth, is silencing your inner critic and choosing instead to become your greatest and most compassionate advocate. And I really think that's about detaching from ego, which, some people think you need ego to make money, but I think ego actually hurts us all. And we need to detach with ego and connect with our essence, which is really our soul, our authentic self, our light. And when we shine our light, then we shine it on others and we succeed in the world.
And then you feel that from the schooling, right? So from proper education, and you have your doctorate, and you're doing all this stuff that's very scientific, and you move into this ego and this self and this mental thing. Did you always have that belief, or did you kind of cross over and mix the two together? So, I guess I'm trying to say there's like that other world.
Yes.
I think abundance world, but then there's like the clinical world.
They really match together. And after 20 years of practice, I just started to see the same things across clients. And I had clients who were from many different cultures and religions and socioeconomic situations, different jobs, different ages. But there are universal truths, and we all have egos as part of the human condition. But if we can separate from our egos, we can really live such a greater life. I always say that love is the currency of life. So if we can lovingly connect with ourselves and others, we welcome abundance, we welcome success.
Wow. This is a lot of heavy, deep stuff. I love it. So let me ask you this. Is that sort of then go along with the other theory that you have, is this karmic kindness?
Yes.
And when you're coaching somebody or when you're sitting with a client, are you teaching them these things as well? Or are you saying, okay, let's first get your ego intact, not ego, but your self-esteem. Then we move on to how to make it bigger and better.
Yes. When I first meet someone, and I believe we all can benefit from therapy at different points in our lives. And I've had my own therapy, and I think we all need it from time to time. But when I first start working with someone, I believe that we all unconsciously recreate what's familiar until we become aware and we choose something better. So that's kind of the first step. The second step is paying attention to our thinking, turning down the volume on that inner critic, and opening our thinking to expand to abundance and living a greater life. And then a big part of therapy is empathy or compassion. So me honoring my clients' feelings and their experiences, and then they get to know themselves on a deeper level. And that compassion or that kindness, I think, is modeled in therapy and is something they can take from there on out. And I really believe that we're a spiritual web of people, and like how you came into my life and touched my life and brought me on Living Healthy, and then I went on to do other TV. I've been on MTV since then. And
I mean, you've just for over 20 years, you're a public speaker, author, blogger, true entrepreneurial diva.
But that wouldn't be without the kindness of you and others who have lifted me up, and that's what I mean.
That.
I appreciate that. I think we can all lift each other up.
I love that. And by the way, I believe that our brain is literally the best virtual reality machine ever.
Absolutely.
Our brain, you're in charge of driving this virtual reality machine. Whatever you want to believe is happening in your brain, it all starts there.
It definitely does. My best friend accuses me of psychotic optimism because I'm so positive, and I don't let my self think anything differently.
I love it.
And then it comes to fruition through self-fulfilling prophecies.
You're great. You should write a book.
I'm going to.
Good.
It's called Mental Wealth.
Oh, good.
So
Okay,
I have
great.
a publisher pitching it in New York next week. So wish me luck.
I will wish you luck. And by the way, when that gets published, we'll have you back on and we'll talk more about mental wealth. But I want you two to stick around. Amy Chassie is staring at you with her eyes wide open, her mouth on the floor. I am so bought into this. We're going to be new best friends.
Oh, I love it.
This is what it means, friends, to live a healthy life. Living Healthy Chicago right here on WGN 720. We're going to be back. You guys stick around. We're going to take a quick break. .720 WGN. Hi, everybody. I'm Jane Manzares in the Allstate Skyline Studio, having a great afternoon with you here. I hope you're having a good afternoon, too. I am in studio with Amy Chassie from Midtown Athletic Club and also psychotherapist Joyce Marter. Joyce, we just ended with you talking about this whole karmic kindness and the state of mental wealth, which I love. And what I wanted to also mention, it's not a one-time thing. It's a practice. You can't just click a switch or flip a switch and all of a sudden you're totally changed person. Is that right?
Absolutely. We are, as human beings, we all have issues as part of the human condition, and it's a lifelong process of taking care of ourselves. And I believe firmly in the power of meditation. I love yoga. I'm in yoga teacher training because yoga is meditation with movement. So it's a process of learning to love and take care of ourselves, mind, body, and spirit.
Yeah, and it's an ongoing, so it's like a lifestyle change.
Absolutely.
As is fitness, right? And health and nutrition is a lifestyle change too, right, Amy?
Right. Yeah.
We're so healthy right now.
Yes.
I mean, I am feeling the love from you girls, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
I think therapists are like personal trainers for your mind and your relationships.
Just like dermatologists are a workout for your face.
That's excellent.
Or maybe it's getting a facial. I'm not sure. So, somebody said, you ever get a facial? I said, no way. Why would I spend my money on that? They're like, do you work out? Well, you should get your face fixed too. Meaning, get it clean. Compromising, creating solutions. That's what it's all about here at WGN Radio. Joyce Marter, how can we find you?
at my website, which is joyce-marter, marter.com.
And Amy, where can we find you?
Instagram, Amy_Chasse, which is CHASSE.
Amy Chasse. Okay, great. Girls, thank you so much for coming in and hanging with me. We're living a healthier life. I'm Jane Manzuris. We will be back right after the break.